Well, so we are done with our routing. All routes are working fine. Now let's start implementing our first module, the search module. So we need to have a form where user can search for the city. And once user hits enter, we should provide him with a list of cities matching entered search value. Now I can go on and create a search form inline here in my search.html. But what do you think if we go with out-of-the-box component, a search component, so that we can reuse it later maybe in this application or other application? So I'm thinking of creating a directive here inside my component folder. But first we need a module. So let's create a module file, then a module inside the file. Let's include the script file, also add it as a dependency. Now I'm going to keep all my reusable directives here inside this module. First I'm going to create a file for this directive. You can create a directive directly here inside this file, that's fine. But I like to keep things separated, so I'm creating it in a new file. So let's create our first directive for this application. I'm going to name it search box, but it's always a good idea to prefix your own custom directives with some name, maybe your company name. Like all of the AngularJS directives are prefixed with ng. So I'm going to prefix my directive with my blog name edgy. Let's return a directive definition object. Now we need a template, so let's create a separate template file. Now I'm going to paste some code snippet here, as this is long HTML and you will not like me to type this. Please pause the video here, try it out yourself. So you can see I have a text input with the model name of search string and a search button. I have also added an ngClick directive and calling a function to search, passing search string as an argument, and I have added some bootstrap CSS to make it look good. Okay, so let's include this template using template URL property and a controller to handle the user interaction. Now I'm going to implement this controller here inline and a search function on my scope object. Now to keep this search component loosely coupled, I'm going to emit an event called search, passing search string in an object so that interested views can listen to it and do what they want to do. Let's include this component file in main HTML file. Cool. So our first component is ready. Let's use it in search.html with some bootstrap code. You run the application and you can see our search box painted into the DOM. We need little styling here on my search box. So I'm going to open my custom CSS file and paste some code here. Now as my search box is controlled by search controller, I'm going to listen for search event dispatched by search box component here. And let's do some console.log of search string. Refresh, enter some city name, click on search, and there we go. We got the search string. Now using this search string, we need to load the weather data. Let's create our first service to load the weather data, and we will do that in next lecture.